I'd like to bring in now retired U.S. Air Force Brigadier General John Teichert. Thank you so much for your time. First of all, let's just talk about the IDF and its actions. It's calling it, quote, limited, localized, and targeted ground raids, targeting Hezbollah positions. What does that mean in reality?
Nichole, thanks for asking. And those three words have been used multiple times by the IDF. And they specifically mean that they're going after infrastructure in southern Lebanon that could allow Hezbollah a springboard to continue to threaten the residents of northern Israel and then prevent them from reconstituting after this immediate action so that Israel can safely bring back the 60 to 70,000 citizens that have been displaced from northern Israel for the last year or so.
So what happens if Iran does, in fact, get involved? And again, a senior U.S. official saying that an attack is imminent.
Nichole, it has been the case that Iran could have engaged more directly in this conflict than it has for the last year. And they haven't in large part because they know that they are overmatched by Israel in conventional capability. We saw back in April that large-scale attack by drones and missiles that was almost completely eliminated by Israeli defenses alongside of allies and partners. And then we saw subsequent attacks by Israel that proved that Israel can strike at will in Iran, whether Tehran or Natanz, the nuclear site, and Iran can't do the same to Israel, which means there's a large amount of risk and cost to Iran getting engaged without not a lot of benefit.
All right, so General, let's talk about the fact that Hezbollah has been firing back. I mean, Robert just told us that the sirens are going off there, that there was a missile fired from Lebanon. Who has the upper hand at this point?
Nichole, Hezbollah has been attacking with about 30 missiles a day during the last year on average. Now, the particular missile that Robert just mentioned was longer range than most, but right now, Hezbollah has been decimated by those attacks on its leadership chain during the last 2 weeks. Right now, Israel is making those incursions into southern Lebanon, and because of the disarray in Hezbollah right now, Israel has the upper hand.
All right, so let's go back to Iran and this imminent attack. Why would they give any indication of what they plan to do?
Nichole, likely through intelligence sources, Israeli or American or others, we have seen things like ballistic missiles move out of warehouses and be set up directed towards Israel, and then maybe those missiles being fueled as well. So it's not Iran telling us that they're going to do that, but it's us getting indications that they are likely poised to be able to do so if they make the decision that risk, cost, and benefit are worth it for them.
And you talked about Israel right now appearing to have the upper hand. We know Israel believes it's eliminated around 30 top Hezbollah leaders, and that's over just the past few weeks. How does that potentially impact what happens moving forward?
Nichole, it completely has decimated the command and control structure of Hezbollah. And it's not just those 30 individuals, but likely their entire staffs and weapons stashes and missile launchers within southern Lebanon specifically. And the fact that now they don't have the operational or strategic command and control in order to organize their forces means that Israelis will likely see some tactical response or those forces that are arrayed to stop them in southern Lebanon, but nothing that could be considered whole-scale and consolidated because of the decimation of that command structure of Hezbollah.
And General, how could what happens in Lebanon potentially impact what happens in Gaza, particularly when it comes to IDF manpower, considering at this point now the IDF is calling up 4 additional reserve brigades?
It has been the case that those reserve brigades have been exhausted for fighting during the last 12 months. But it's also the case in Gaza that consolidated fighting force by Hamas has almost been eliminated. And as Hamas leaders see that Israel can strike Hezbollah leaders at will within Lebanon all the way to Beirut, that it gives them pause to consider that they're not a consolidated fighting force, and maybe now's the time for them to evacuate elsewhere, like Sinwar has been offered during the latest round of ceasefire offers by Netanyahu, and they should reconsider even trying to mount an offensive because right now they're incapable of doing so.
Well, Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.